The World Cup, the Super Bowl, Wimbledon. Every highly competitive hobby has their own name for their crowning achievement. Beating a Nuzlocke of Run and Bun has taken such a spot in the Pokemon Challenge Run community. As of this recording, only 78 people have beaten the game. So, understandably, players go all out when they plan their final fights of this monstrously long and difficult game. Players on the doorstep of victory will spend weeks, sometimes even months, in their damage calculator planning out the perfect line to beat the final 5 fights, standing between them and the top of the mountain, just like I did last summer. Your win can't just show that you know the game. You have to show that you can beat it your way, that you can bring something special to the table. You want to join the pantheon of Nuzlocke titans like Moxie, Small Ant, and Pop PPPP1010101001? You're gonna have to earn your spot. Considering runners are putting literal hundreds of hours of work on the line, possibly risking an achievement they've been working at for months, maybe even over a year, you'd think Run and Bun players would be all laser focused on finding nothing short of the most optimal plan for each fight possible. But we've developed a bit of a tradition as a community. If at all possible, runners challenge themselves to bring at least one Pokemon to the Hall of Fame that nobody else has won with before. I was fully prepared to break this tradition when I took on the challenge, but fate had other ideas for me, delivering me a last-minute Cresselia that wasn't what I was looking for, but turned out to be exactly what I needed. But you already know that story. Nearly 50 players have defeated this behemoth of a game since me, and my Cresselia remains the only one in the Run and Bun Hall of Fame. I can tell you from first-hand experience, it is a truly special feeling, and Cresselia has become one of my favorite Pokemon ever since. I even got a tattoo based on her. It kind of looks like her, right? The 5 fights that close out Run and Bun are all insane teams of 6 absolutely cracked Pokemon with movesets and synergies designed to grind teams, featuring the most powerful Pokemon this game has to offer into dust. You can only go so far off the proven paths to victory before you're bound to walk off a cliff. But that hasn't stopped this community from cooking up some truly gourmet lines and finding ways to take some unexpected Pokemon to the Hall of Fame. Today, I'm going to cover 4 runners who have found the most creative solutions to Run and Bun's final gauntlet, and 1 runner whose solution was simply so perfect that it deserves its own spotlight. Are you looking for a new phone that can stand up to the puzzlingly sky-high hardware requirements of most emulators, or your favorite horse racing gacha game? Look no further than this video's sponsor, the REDMAGIC 11 Pro. REDMAGIC has become a trailblazer of the gaming smartphone space with dozens of design awards and over 3,000 new patents. The REDMAGIC 11 Pro is the world's first mass-produced smartphone with liquid cooling. That's what this is on the back. That's liquid cooling. It draws heat directly away from the battery, making the phone performance super stable during heavy gaming sessions. The flat design with no camera bump on the back makes this the perfect phone to hold while gaming. It's got these rounded corners too. It's so good and so comfortable. It's so easy to game on this. Also, and I was actually genuinely overjoyed to see this phone has a 3.5mm audio jack. Look, there it is. The audio enthusiast in me just jumped at this, man. It's like seeing an old friend. It's been so long, man. How have you been? As a processor, the phone has a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, and you know we're all Gen 5 fans on this channel, right? This is the fastest mobile system on a chip in the world right now. It's got a full AMOLED 2688 by 1216 resolution screen with 144Hz refresh rate. Listen, it's got like a really good battery and a top-of-the-line screen, okay? That's all you need to know. If you game a lot on your phone, there's no better phone out there as a daily driver, in my opinion. If all this sounds interesting to you, check out my link to the REDMAGIC 11 Pro in the description or the pinned comment. Thank you, REDMAGIC. First, a quick primer on how Run and Bun's Elite Four works. Like your standard Pokemon game, it's a gauntlet of 5 trainers, the Elite Four followed by the champion. Obviously, Run and Bun's enemy teams are much more challenging than even legendary main game bosses like Cynthia. Also, unlike your standard Pokemon game, and even unlike most difficulty-forward fan games, Run and Bun's Elite Four is a test of both single and double battle styles. Each trainer, besides the champ, who's always a single battle, has a specific team built for singles and doubles. You can pick and choose which fight is which style, as long as you fight 2 singles and 2 doubles each. It's kind of like a Denny's Grand Slam combo. Some people get their eggs scrambled, others get them over easy. Some people get white bread, others get rye. Some people get pancakes, others are stupid. This is a big reason why planning lines take so long. It's also why creativity is both so valuable and so recognized by the Run and Bun community. It's hard enough to beat this game while following battle plans that have proven to work by the runners before you. But if you can find a new way to navigate your way to the finish line, you will leave your mark on this game forever. Win number 12. Bokknation proves Drake doubles can be done. Only 11 runners had taken down Run and Bun in its release year of 2023, but a meta was already starting to develop by year's end. The first year of the game proved two things beyond a shadow of a doubt. The first piece of wisdom was one that bokknation followed. Urshifu and Primarina are broken and you should have them on your team. There was a big reason why Bok rolled through the first 3 teams of the Elite Four without much issue. He also had a weapon I used in my run, Mega Absol, whose combination of a magic bounce hidden from the enemy AI by Mega Evolution and insanely strong knockoffs and sucker punches gives huge value and lets it lead off the first 3 fights. The 3 unique Pokemon on this team, Walrein, Exeggutor, and Gorbis, were hardly called into action at all in these fights, as the known quantities handled business. The second piece of wisdom, if you're gonna suck it, you have to do it for— wait, that's from another video. The second piece of wisdom, you do not fight Drake as a double battle. The first 11 champions had a bunch of different approaches to Sydney, Phoebe, and Glacia, but it always converged on Drake singles. Drake singles is hard enough, because Dragon type needs to be fucking nerfed. Look at this type chart, tell me this is okay. They introduced a whole ass type in Gen 6 to deal with this shit, and they're still broken! Seriously though, if you've seen my own attempt at this game, you know all too well that Drake as a single battle is a huge menace already. But Drake doubles is a completely different beast. Both of Drake's lead Pokemon put on tons of pressure, and it's almost impossible to handle what both of them are threatening. Sure, these things are both offensive threats, but it's the support moves that threaten to derail this fight on turn 1. Suicune can set up Tailwind to guarantee Drake's team can outrun yours, and Dragapult can set up screens to ruin your precisely calculated lines throughout the fight. It's really the unpredictability that makes this fight so hard. There are theoretical teams that can handle this, but they're usually so specialized that they get blown apart by the rest of the Elite Four before they can get to Drake in the first place. A very basic technique in double battles is to show kills to your opponent's Pokemon with one of yours, locking them out of going for any other move except for the lethal one that turn. The math necessary to bait Suicune, Dragapult, or both into their necessary moves can get really complicated and require precise pre-damaging. That's easy enough to do for the earlier Elite Four fights. Just poison your Pokemon before you enter Sydney's room, and you can be at whatever HP you want. But setting up precise damage numbers for later fights either requires taking the perfect amount of damage in the first 3 fights, or carrying low damage totals or even statuses like poison all the way through the rest of the Elite Four. The point is, it's such a delicate balancing act that everybody prior to bokknation had decided it wasn't worth the effort or risk. But Bok saw that second piece of wisdom and thought of it as nothing more than a suggestion. He recognized that he had a team capable of taking out the first 3 fights with basically 3 Pokemon, with Gorbis and Walrein basically just switching into tank and move or 2. Meanwhile, Exeggutor is having the pChal Soccer League experience with his entire time spent on the bench. Just put me in one time, Hecknop. I know you're watching this. Please just put me in once. This let him custom build the rest of the team to stop Drake's insane doubles team. Gorbis was pre-damaged so low that Suicune saw that he could kill it with Scald, preventing it from using Tailwind or the nearly equally run-ending Calm Mind. The AI also saw that Dragapult could kill with Dragon Darts, but it would never get to move. Sucker Punch from Absol brings it down to its Focus Sash, and Gorbis is not just pre-damaged to bait kills from the opposing side. The beautiful thing about bokknation's setup here is that he saved his 1 Custat barrier throughout the entire game for this moment. Because Gorbis is low HP, it immediately eats its held item, allowing it to move first for just that turn, letting it kill Dragapult with Flip Turn and get itself to safety before the pseudo-legendary ever gets to attack. The Exeggutor gets to shine, taking advantage of Suicune's Tailwind turn to kill it with Leaf Storm. So he didn't actually stop the Tailwind after all. Looks like the plan was a failure, right? But like Kendrick Lamar before him, Bok now has Drake right where he wants him. Exeggutor is able to bail out thanks to the Eject Pack, bringing in Walrein against Drake's Salamence and Zekrom. The much frailer Absol is baiting kills from both of Drake's Pokemon, and Walrein is able to get a free Frost Breath kill into Salamence while Absol detects. Next turn is more of the same, as Zygarde enters the Salamence slot. This led to probably the riskiest turn of the whole Elite Four, as Urshifu had to come in and tank a Draco Meteor from Zekrom and a Breaking Swipe from Zygarde, but with the Citrus Berry, it easily survives both non-crits, and Walrein picks up another kill, this time on a box legendary. This Walrein belongs at TwitchCon the way he's making half the party faint with just his breath. After Eggy switches in and tanks 1 more hit, Walrein takes its 3rd kill and Drake Doubles is defeated for the first time ever. Gorbis and Exeggutor also make crucial contributions during the Wallace fight, with Gorbis providing support against Tailglow Manaphy and Exeggutor taking 2 massive kills on the game's final trainer. Very few runners that have won this early still have any Pokemon on their team that remain unique to this day. That's kind of the nature of the beast, both run and bun specifically and gaming on the internet generally. Once a strategy is proven to be useful, it's out there for anybody to grab and copy. Despite that, both Gorbis and Exeggutor remain unique picks, never used by any of the next 66 winners. It's not terribly surprising that this team hasn't had many copycats. The conventional wisdom still suggests that Drake doubles should be avoided, and most of the teams that do take it on do so out of an attempt to flex more than it being the optimal choice. Bokknation simply didn't care, taking it out as just the 12th person to ever beat the game. He flies under a lot of people's radars, but Bokk is, to me, one of the most creative players in the whole community. Win number 23. Byonemil's Alakazam breaks everybody's ankles. When Byonemil rolled up to attempt his Elite Four, he was vying to be the 23rd Run and Bun champion. He was also working full-time as a doctor. What the fuck? For the first time since winner number 6, he was bringing at least 4 unique Pokemon to the Elite Four, at a time when it was already getting pretty difficult to keep up the tradition of bringing at least 1 new Pokemon to the Hall of Fame. Byonemil was out there trying to break the game with a completely wild team. Beyond the staples of Urshifu Dark and Latios with a Soldew, thanks to some absolutely mind-bending tech on his fight against Tate and Liza by the way, Byonemil blazed his own trail, a team constructed thanks to both some incredible creativity and some deep research. Byonemil sourced Billy, trying to take advantage of the knowledge the growing Chinese scene was using to take down this game, stealing research from the Chinese like it's the Cold War. The result? Gay Meowth. Come on, you're telling me you don't see it? That's a gay cat. Oh, and there's also a Torkoal? To understand what they're doing here, I think we should actually start with a Glacia fight.
Trick Room? Perfect. Glacia has just given us the tools to win. Torkoal is the slowest thing on this entire team and her entire team. Torkoal baits in Kyurem. Even with Kyurem's item room service that lowers its speed by 1 stage in Trick Room, Berserker, you absolute beautiful Pokemon, is still slower than Kyurem, and therefore in Trick Room, where slow goes first, the order will be Torkoal Eruption, Iron Head, and we wipe the field. I know some of you guys in chat are gonna call me a filthy cheater for abusing Spread Bug. I don't care. Get out of my screen, Kyurem! Get out!
These two go insanely hard in the Glacia doubles fight. The surprising part isn't that Byonemil was able to make these Pokemon work for this fight, is that he was able to construct a team that could handle the rest of the Elite Four while carrying such slow Pokemon the whole way. It seemed like this run was planning to walk. The MVP in making that happen was clearly Mega Alakazam. The Sydney fight was an illustration of just how broken the ability Trace can be. Trace copies the ability of the opponent across the field from the Trace user, which means in this fight, staring down the lead Greninja of Sydney's singles team, Mega Alakazam is about to gain Protean. Protean doesn't just allow this Mega Alakazam to get stab on all of its attacks, turning it into even more of a nuke, it also lets it dance all over the AI, constantly using Protean's type switching to gain important resistances whenever the frail wizard would otherwise fold to the powerful attacks of Sydney's team. Mega Alakazam's ability in this fight basically allows it to anticipate and parry the opponent's moves. It knows what you're going to do before you even do it. Clefable also has an important job on this fight, able to prevent Sydney's Urshifu from spiraling out of control thanks to its type and the Unaware ability. Ignoring any potential buffs allows Clefable to just sit on the field and swing until Urshifu goes down, clearing the way for Byonemil's own Urshifu to take down Gyarados for the win. Other than Urshifu Dark, who always ruins Phoebe's team, Mega Alakazam and Clefable are once again the stars of the show against Phoebe. Mega Zam is fast enough to get the jump on even her blazing fast lead Crobat, and anytime Zam is threatened by a Ghost or Dark move, Clefable can come in and soak up the damage. So that explains how Byonemil was able to carry that Trick Room core all the way to Glacia. But this route also forced Byonemil to beat the scariest fight in the entire game, Drake doubles. Remember, you have to fight 2 double and 2 single battles no matter what, and he's already done both of his single battles. How is this team, especially with a couple of extremely slow Pokemon dragging it down, going to deal with that? And then it says here, these Mons are so slow that much like my co-writer, they desperately need their hand held, please, please, please. What? Usually, the answer to dealing with Drake doubles revolves around preventing the Suicune from setting up Tailwind, but it's already a lost cause for Byonemil to try and outspeed this team. He is just fine with Suicune putting up Tailwind because that's what Clefable is here for. Urshifu gets some damage on the Suicune and bails with its eject pack. It seems like a scary position. Sure, Suicune is Encore locked, but Drake still has all 6 of his Pokemon and Tailwind is up. Byonemil though, he knows. And he's about to break his Hippocratic Oath here because oh boy is he about to harm someone.
Port has 16 Dragon Darts, so we have 16 turns to beat this fight. That's exactly, razor thin, the exact number of turns that we need to beat this fight risklessly. Do it, Clefable, stunt on him. Dragapult sees only fast kill into Latios with only Dragon Darts. It's over for you, Drake.
Byonemil still has to be careful. He has to make sure to wait to take down Suicune until Drake's Tailwind goes down, and he can set up his own Tailwind with Latios. It's a more intricate line than it looks, but from here, Byonemil systematically demolishes Drake's team, taking down his left slot one after another, while Clefable absorbs Dragon Dart after Dragon Dart with Follow Me. Byonemil cuts out Drake doubles with medical precision here. Not only is this line riskless, it only uses 3 Pokemon, and 2 of them for the vast majority of the fight. That allows Byonemil to carry Torkoal and Berserker all this way, despite their contributions mostly coming in just 1 battle so far. But they aren't done yet. This Torkoal doesn't have Drought to clear Kyogre Origins weather, but is still the lead for the champion fight. No Sun, no problem. Torkoal survives the Origin Pulse thanks to its Focus Sash. And here is where we finally reveal the purpose of Torkoal. A 55 megaton neutron bomb strapped to his chest. That's right, he's here to die. Now it's time for the next bit of Trace technology. By tracing Swift Swim off of Wallace's Barrascuda, Mega Alakazam destroys the demon of this fight. Instead of getting to unleash a fast attack in the rain, this Barrascuda is dead on arrival. From here, the rest of this looks like a lot of Wallace fights when you manage to bring all 6 of your Pokemon to the end. Byonemil sacrifices 4 to get to Wallace's final 2 Pokemon. Swampert comes out with Manaphy in the back. As if this Mega Alakazam hadn't stunted on this Elite Four enough, it has one last magic trick to show off on its way out. Byonemil set this up all the way before he even entered the Elite Four. By using one of his limited heart scales he gathered throughout the run, he was able to change Alakazam's special defense IV to 31. He doesn't need the defense stat, but this gives him the exact configuration of IVs that changes Alakazam's hidden power type to Grass. Down goes Swampert, and then Latios finishes off the Manaphy to end it all. Byonemil made his own edited video of his Elite Four run, as well as his Tate and Liza fight where he became the first person to steal a Soul Dew, and I highly recommend both of them. He's an incredibly talented creator beyond just his gameplay. Dude, please stop making all of us look bad. I literally do this as my job and my Elite Four wasn't half as clean as yours. Win number 61. Bernie's Revolutionary Reversals. What's the most powerful Pokemon you can imagine for a run of an Elite Four? It's gotta be Urshifu, maybe Dragapult or Primarina. Maybe it's one of the legendaries like Latios or Enamorus, or maybe one of the mythicals you can roll for in the casino? Nope, it's this guy. Reversal is a crazy move. It deals damage based on your current HP, and when the user is between 0 and 4% of its health, it has an insane 200 base power with no other drawback. If it wasn't for the fact that you're at the mercy of dying to literally any source of damage, this move might have the highest sweeping potential of any move in the game. But it's way too much to expect Hitmonlee to survive 5 whole fights of 1 HP. Right? Wrong. This Mon is going to take down the Elite Four, hooked up to an IV from the comfort of its hospital bed. Get up, Grandpa. You've had enough life support for today. Bernie's whole team is built around setting up and sweeping. To do so, he brought a couple of staples in Thundurus and Urshifu Dark, with the rest of the squad enabling Hitmonlee were unique when Bernie won and remain unique to this day. Araquanid, Masquerain, and Swampert. Araquanid was one of the most powerful support Pokemon in my winning run, even if it didn't come to the Elite Four. Its primary benefit is access to the hazard Sticky Webs, which lowers speed when a grounded Pokemon switches in. This can open up tons of lines thanks to the fact that AI won't think about the speed drop when choosing what Pokemon to switch in next, potentially baiting would-be faster Pokemon to switching right into their death. Hitmonlee didn't get to shine until later in the Elite Four. Against Sydney, it mostly served as bait to draw attacks while Thundurus and Swampert did most of the work. Bernie used the classic double strategy of getting a strong Earthquake spammer next to a flyer. Earthquake and Electro Webs alone handled most of Sydney's team. Against Phoebe, Hitmonlee spent the whole time on the bench. Araquanid set up webs thanks to its Focus Sash, and Thundurus and Urshifu went on to do a majority of the work from there. Now that it's time for Glacia though, the nuke is armed and ready. Using pre-damaged Swampert, he's able to let it unleash its first reversal, one-shotting Magearna despite it dealing neutral damage. From here, the Urshifu Hitmonlee tag team is unstoppable, and Hitmonlee takes its first 4 kills of this Elite Four. Drake was where pretty much all the risk of this Elite Four came into play. The big risk comes from Dragapult's Dragon Darts into Araquanid on turn 1. With 2 non-crits, Araquanid lives. With 2 crits, Araquanid always lives, because Citrus Berry procs after the first one, and it lives the second one. But a non-crit into a crit had the potential to kill the run. The Citrus Berry fails to proc after Dart 1, Dart 2 kills it with crit damage, and the whole run dies because Sticky Web never goes up. For just a moment, this line is fragile. It's vulnerable. It's admitting its feelings to you, but you aren't ready for that kind of commitment. You tell them it's not them, it's you. But they can't help but take it personally. How else are they supposed to take it? They run out of the hotel room and you never hear from them again. Come back, you yell. Come back! But yeah, that didn't happen. That didn't actually happen at all. Araquanid lived, it didn't get crit, and it set up sticky webs. After Urshifu and Thundurus do their jobs, it's time for Lychee Berry Hitmonlee to go to work. The cool thing here is that his Lychee Berry instantly procs as the 1 HP Hitmonlee hits the field. Normally, a Choice Band would do the trick as they provide the same boost, and Reversal is by far Hitmonlee's most powerful attack. But Lychee Berry is necessary here, so Hitmonlee can chip the Zygarde with Fake Out, which is just barely necessary to guarantee the kill with +1 Reversal. Hitmonlee is running through these dudes like it's a frat party, taking down 3 until Salamence comes in and finally forces it out. After sacrificing Masquerain to get an Intimidate drop on the Mence, Swampert comes in and kills with Avalanche. There's a cool tech here too, where Bernie taught Blizzard to his Swampert. It's not worth risking the run on the 70% accurate move, but it shows Salamence that Swampert has a move that could kill it, making Run and Bun's AI too scared to Dragon Dance and forcing it to attack to boost Avalanche's power. That's a pretty impressive fight for Hitmonlee, but its best is still yet to come. The entirety of Bernie's champ fight is built around getting those webs up for Hitmonlee one last time. Urshifu sacrifices itself to get Kyogre into range of a Thundurus Volt Switch to kill. That allows Araquanid to get in against Barraskewda and set up webs with no risk. Thundurus comes back in after the Araquanid sacrifice to Thunderwave the Barraskewda, and the setup is complete. Bang. 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 It's not fast enough to get through Swift Swim Mega Swampert, but Bernie's Mega Swampert of his own is more than up for the challenge, outspeeding and killing after 2 turns. Bernie's win was a relatively painless one, and despite that, his goes down as easily the most unique team used so far. None of the unique foursome of Araquanid, Hitmonlee, Masquerain, and Swampert have been brought to the Hall of Fame since Bernie's run, and he's the only one of the 78 winners to have 4 unique Pokemon until this day. Win number 72, Josh Joestar's Perfect Fight. Josh Joestar's team doesn't even have a single unique Pokemon, so why am I bringing it up? Because with this team, Josh became the first person to ever complete a riskless and deathless Elite Four plus champion. It's the perfect crime. He's the Danny Ocean of Pokemon. He's assembled a crackpot team of Pokemon with the right skills, and goddammit, his plan is crazy enough that it just might work. We've already seen the power of Primarina, Urshifu, and Latios, but Golisopod might be stronger than all of them, primarily because of its insane ability, Emergency Exit. Now, if you've seen my terrible Pokemon that are good in Nuzlocke's video, it's not a terrible video about Pokemon that are good in Nuzlocke. It's terrible Pokemon that are good in... just watch it. But if you haven't seen that video, here's a quick summary. The dumb, baby, stupid, tiny brain AI Clanker doesn't understand that the G-Man can just dip when he gets hurt. So you have control over the fight by using his ability to switch out without your other Mons having to take damage. Josh was the 7th player to bring Beedrill to the Hall of Fame, which probably sounds insane if you're not familiar with Run and Bun, but if anything, that's underselling how strong Beedrill, and more specifically Mega Beedrill, can be. It's an insanely min-maxed attacker, and has carried plenty of runners through the 8 badges, even if it hasn't managed to make its way onto their Elite Four squads. Now, I know what you might be thinking, that Stinger looks mighty small, but just give him one of these pills, and there he goes. Listen, it's way more common than you think, okay? 1 in 5 men. One of his Pokemon was only on its way to its 2nd Hall of Fame appearance, though. Ludicolo, who was first champ just a month prior by Intakam. It doesn't do too much for the first few fights, other than a bit of baiting on Sydney doubles and Fake Out to chip away the lead Mamoswine Focus Sash on Glacier singles, but it's not just here for his good vibes and signature Mexican flair. On the champion fight, Ludicolo isn't just the answer to Kyogre, able to easily tank its rain-boosted Origin Pulse. It takes 4 kills in this fight, including the final kill of the run with a Giga Drain on Wallace's Mega Swampert. This is the textbook Elite Four, which hopefully gives some context for just how creative some of these cooks were from the other runners. I've linked all of the runner's E4 WODs under the video. If you're truly interested in the intricacies of this crazy complicated game, I highly recommend you watch his. The lines he takes on some of these fights are just pure perfection, man. Win number 53. Barron's Cutie Squad gives everybody multiple heart attacks. Barron's Elite Four truly delivers everything. The man was on his 99th attempt, trying to make it past Glacia for the first time ever. He had put so much time into this game, maybe more than any other player I've seen. And he had the Pokemon in the box to make this Elite Four simple. There was a Dragapult, a Primarina, a Golisopod, a Latios, a Greninja, and a few other really strong Pokemon to choose from for this Elite Four. But instead, he went with the Cutie Squad. Alongside the practically required Urshifu, Barron was bringing 5 Pokemon that had been to a combined 4 Hall of Fames between them prior to this attempt. Togedemaru is considered a great early and mid-game Pokemon, but with Pikachu clone stats, it falls off hard in the endgame, only appearing on 2 prior Elite Four teams. Mega Altaria, better known by everyone in the community as DD Megadoodoo, was used as part of the 18th winning team, but usually you'd prefer to use your Mega slot on something with a bit more firepower. And then there were 3 new guys. The Cutie Squad. It's not just the squad that makes this such a fun Elite Four though, it's one of the most dramatic and tense finishes you'll ever see to a Nuzlocke. Not only was Barron at almost triple-digit attempt numbers, he had lost 2 prior attempts in Victory Road, and 2 to the Elite Four. Quick reminder that it takes literal months to get a run from starter selection to Evergrande City. Barron wanted to prove that his Raichu was more than just a fake-out bot. It certainly was in the Sydney fight. After taking an Oblivion Wing from Yveltal, its fake-out Volt Tackle was enough to kill the legendary and show enough damage to Gyarados that it could never set up a Dragon Dance. The rest of the cuties also did their part. Eldegoss, Togedemaru, and Altaria formed a perfect pivot chain that allowed Barron to risklessly deal with Sydney's Nidoking. They were doing it. Actually winning with the power of friendship and taking turns. It was like a fucking Sesame Street episode. Raichu delivers another big kill in the Phoebe fight, taking out the Blastoise with Volt Tackle, but this was a fight centering around Urshifu, pre-damage to take advantage of a Salac Berry to get the boost of a Choice Scarf while retaining the ability to switch moves, letting it heal up with Drain Punches, and then switch gear to Sucker Punch when the Ghost came in. But the hottest cook of this Elite Four was served on Glacia, and it shows off the power of Eldegoss. A grass type with a wildly unimpressive stat spread, Eldegoss is strictly here for its unique ability, Cotton Down. When Eldegoss takes a hit, Cotton Down activates, lowering the speed of everything else on the field. The line Barron found uses Cotton Down and both eject items to stack up Cotton Down drops on the fastest Pokemon on Glacia's team, Mamoswine and Kyurem. The fight isn't free by any means after the fast Pokemon go down though. Barron found checkmate by using Togedemaru to bait Mystical Fire from Enamorus, allowing Raichu to lock it in with Encore. The whole point of this entire setup was Altaria, which hadn't gotten much of a chance to shine until now.
Alright, we Mega and 2 Facades always kills through leftovers.
Combined with the 140 base power of Burn boosted Facade, Stab boost, and the Pixelate boost, DD Megadoodoo suddenly becomes a terrifying physical threat. It bowed out after only 1 kill against Glacia, making way for Urshifu to punch through her final 2. But it had a much bigger role on Drake. Barron was taking the Cutie Squad through the difficult Drake doubles, and Mega Altaria was the reason why he felt comfortable doing so. The fight was going perfectly. Thanks to big hits from Altaria, Dragapult and Suicune were already down. He had stalled out the Tailwind. He had Mega Altaria in front of Zygarde and Raichu in front of Charizard, both matchups he wanted. And then, it happened.
We Facade, kill Zygarde. It's most likely to extreme speed into Altaria. There's a 10% chance it goes for slow kill into Raichu. That is better for us. Facade kills Zygarde. We fake out Zard. This is turn 3 of my Tailwind. Does go for speed. Oh, is that kill me? Wait a second. No, I lost. Why to go for that? No way. Why to go for that? Oh my god, it's still a kill. I didn't see that. No way, man. I lost. GG.
Barron was pretty resolved to it being over at this point. He'd been here before. Drake didn't really have anything left to deal with the power of Altaria and Tailwind, but at this point, he was pretty sure it was over. A 5-mon champ is doable in theory, but Raichu was such a massive part of his plan. But after surveying the damage, thinking about the lines, Barron started to believe.
There's a way, bro. There's a fucking way.
It took about an hour of planning the fight again from the ground up, but he went into Wallace knowing he was going to have to both play well and get a little bit lucky.
I need to take some risks, man. Okay. Not much we can do anymore. Let's go.
Azumarill did its job, rock smashing and chipping the Kyogre into range for Urshifu to take it down with Sucker Punch, but Togedemaru couldn't get lucky. Hoping for a Draco Meteor from Palkia, but instead taking a Hydro Pump to the face on the way in, Altaria was going to have to be a hero. Its first Facade one-shot the Palkia, dodging a Draco Meteor thanks to the Mega Evolution type change in the process. Urshifu took down Gudra, and it all came down to one turn. Could Barron's Urshifu survive a liquidation from Barraskewda and hit the range to kill it?
This is the only play. Come on, man! Come on! Yes! Okay, it's not over. It is not over.
As Barron pointed out, that wasn't actually checkmate, just the biggest hurdle cleared. Barron still had another cutie in the back, Eldegoss, which switched in and tanked a Scald from Manaphy, dropping its speed. Every switch was tense. Any crit here could have ended the run. Back to Altaria, who dodged the crit and survived an Ice Beam. One last Facade brought the mythical down to about 30%. Urshifu finished off Manaphy, but was a sitting duck for Wallace's last Mon, Mega Swampert. All Barron had to do was dodge one more crit.
LD, brother, please. This one time. Just this one time, LD. Please, man. Please, 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 please. Please, LD, please, LD, please, LD. Please, LD, please, LD. Please, fucking... Please do it. Don't crit me.
Absolute cinema, my friends. Not only was this a wild team, it was an incredible adaptation, with multiple turns that could have sent the run straight back to the truck, where Barron had started 99 times before. To this day, he's the only one to bring Azumarill and Eldegoss to the Hall of Fame. Nobody has won with Altaria since Barron, and only one other player, Kaya Coliseum, has won with Raichu.
I had all those guys in the box, man. I just wanted to show I could be creative, dude. I could have just gotten in here with the fucking goats, but I didn't want to, dude.
And he definitely did. As he points out, he didn't have to make it nearly this difficult. The Latios and Dragapult and all those other Mons were waiting right there in the box, but sometimes that's just not what the art of the Nuzlocke demands of you. Sure, he definitely could have done it that way, but I don't think it would have felt as good.
Oh man, I had so much doubt in myself for so fucking long. 2 years, dude. 2 years, bro. Fuck. Fuck, I'm so emotional, dude.
Nuzlockers have a bit of a reputation as unthinking, unfeeling calculators. But there's an art to it, too. Most of us aren't just trying to win. We're performers, and we want to put our own individual mark on the game. Whether that's through sheer perfection like Josh Joestar, or Small Ant's recent victory, congrats again, brother, or through finding brilliant, untrodden paths through this behemoth of an Elite Four. These players definitely left their mark.